Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. So in case you missed it, I put out a short, basically explaining what's going on here. But okay. So my initial plan was to do uh, all summer. I was going to do every Tuesday, and every Saturday from June to August through August. Tubi Tuesday, every Tuesday, and every Saturday was Stephen King Saturday night. I got 1 month done of Stephen King Saturday Night. All of Tubi Tuesdays. When you get Tubi Tuesday every Tuesday from the first Tuesday in June all the way to the last Tuesday in August, you're going to get that. That's done. However, um, couldn't get into Stephen King Saturday Night. I was just pushed from doing all those, and then I have to do all these, and I got 1 month worth done. That's 4 movies. So you're gonna get Stephen King Saturday Night for the month of June. That's about it. And I know I could still do, I could still be like, oh, I'll just do them during the week. I have no initiative to continue doing it for now. I may try to work it into October again. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know. So I said, okay, that's done. What do I do? Well, I'm not exactly finished with my last review series that I did. I know I said I was moving on to Never Ending Story. I might push that till February because that's something from my childhood. The first two are at least, but I'll talk about the third one as well. I did that with The Mummy, you know. But I didn't finish my last review series, which is Robocop. We're going to talk about Robocop 2014. And I know I said I was saving remakes, but screw it. I'll just do them with the franchise. It's easier than trying to organize. I got 3 pick 10s I'm planning already. So 3? Is there 3? Oh yeah, there's 3. I had to think. So Robocop 2014. I can't remember if I went to see this in theaters, but I'm leaning towards no, because this is a family video copy. So I'm thinking I just rented it from Family Video. I don't think I went to the theater to see it. I don't remember. Can't remember if I went to see it or not. But I remember when I watched it, I remember it wasn't that bad. I hadn't seen the original yet. And I watched the original and I'm like, oh man, that Robocop movie that came out, it sucked. And so I watched it now. So I kept that in my mind. Oh, the remake is terrible. It's terrible. It's nothing like, it's PG-13. It must be bad. Which is the idea I had in my head. People were saying, oh, Robocop 3 is PG-13, so it must be bad. And I watched it, and to me, it wasn't really that bad. So going back and rewatching this, it's not as good as the first one. The second one might be better than the third one. I don't know. I'm not going to do a ranking because there's only 4 movies. But, I don't think it's as terrible as I once thought it was. Just because I love the original now and just, shadow over this movie. It is similar, yet different. So yeah, the big thing is it's PG-13, right? It's PG-13, so there's that. It takes place, we have a solid time for when it takes place, 2028 in Detroit, Detroit. Omnicorp is now a subsidiary of OCP, which is the same thing. I don't know. And Raymond Sellers is the guy in charge, not the old man, although Michael Keaton was like 50, in his 50s here, I think, 60s. He's 70 now, so about in his 60s here. So, maybe old man, who knows. Michael Keaton plays him, has a lot of recognizable actors, except for the guy who played Robocop. Nobody knew who he was. Joel Kinnaman. They knew who he was after this. He would be in Suicide Squad and start being in other things after this. But this was like the first. I think he had been in things before, but I think this was the first big starring role he got, maybe, at least in a mainstream Hollywood movie. And they do take some differences from there. First of all, he's not specifically killed by one person while trying to arrest him. Like in the original, he is shot and killed by Claire Boddicker. The whole thing. No, it's a car explosion that blows him up here. And they think that's one of the reasons why this went. And even watching it now, I went, his death in the original was just so cool. And this is just, boom, explosion, he's dead. And it's like, what a cheap way to kill off someone. And if this was just an ordinary action flick, someone died by an explosion, fine. This is RoboCop. And it's like they said, okay, we're not going to outdo how he died in the original, especially with only a PG-13 rating. So let's just blow him the fuck up. Let's just blow him up, right? And so they turn him into the RoboCop. He's in the classic getup, the silver, and then for some reason they put him in a black armor. I didn't get that. So they wanted to make him different, but I didn't get it. I don't understand. By the end, he's back in the silver one anyway. His family is a part of this movie, where in the original, his family left afterwards. That he's dead, he's gone. And even in the second one, he keeps trying to find them, and they keep pushing him away. Here, they keep the family a part of the story. His wife still wants him to be a part of the family, and his son is having PTSD because he saw the explosion happen, and they're connected to the climax where Raymond takes them hostage, basically, sort of, kind of. So, yeah, they're still in this, which works. What doesn't work is Lewis. Lewis is his partner, and he's now he's a he, first of all, and he's African American, which is fine. I like the actor, Michael K. Williams. I think he's good. He's good in the role, but he just doesn't have the same impact as Lewis from the original. Like, he's his partner, sure, but to be honest, I didn't even know they were the same character until I watched Decker Shadow's review of this, like last year or whenever it came out, and he's like, Lewis. I'm like, wait, that's Lewis? Here I thought that just wasn't a Lewis, but it is Lewis. It's different. It's different. Oh, and another big change is that he's not a new cop. He's been working for the Detroit police station. He works for the Detroit police. He's been doing that. They didn't have like undercover thing. He's not new. He's not a new guy like in the original. He's already working for the police in Detroit. So, yeah. And they do this whole crooked cop thing where two of his fellow cops are crooked, and so is the captain. Honestly, one of them is played by Daniel Cash, who you may know as he was Carl in the trilogy 3-parter of Goosebumps, and he was the villain of Camp Rock 2. He was also the doctor in Mama, but he wasn't a bad guy there. But honestly, I saw him and I went, okay, he's crooked. Because it's Daniel Cash. It's Carl from Carlsville. I mean, the guy talks like this all the time with that smirk on his face. He's obviously a villain. The one good guy character I've seen him play is the doctor from Mama, and he gets killed. So, spoiler alert for Mama. Yeah. So I figured that out. And then the cat, maybe they thought you were going to figure it out, because then the captain's revealed to be in on it. And, yeah, because he solves his own murder, kills the guy behind it, which we knew he was behind it. And then, because I guess it was obvious that guy was behind his murder, they decide Michael Keaton's going to be the real villain of the movie. And so OCP, Omnicorp is the villain. And so, yeah, and they do the thing where, he has the thing on his arm. And so, you couldn't hear me. That's the thing. So he can't arrest him or do anything. And instead of having someone just grab it off his arm so he can get shot and have a better impact like the original, where it's like, Dick, you're fired. Thank you. Boom, shoots him out the window. It's just, he finds the strength to do it and shoot him. So he overcomes his protocols, which is the thing. But here's the thing. It kind of, in the middle of the film, like the beginning of this is good. The climax is really good. But in the middle of the film, it just sort of meanders there. Because they do this thing. After his training, it kind of goes to me, because they decide that they're going to go in a direction where he's got to look up all these cases. One of them is his murder case, and so that causes him to have a bunch of emotions. So they shut his emotions off, and from there he's just standard robot guy arresting people, doing stuff, and it It gets kind of boring until the wife is like, hey, your son is having nightmares, and that breaks him free of it. Jackie Earle Haley, however you pronounce it, he's all right in this. He's like a henchman guy. He's effectively the Clarence Boddicker of this without having that sort of impact that Clarence Boddicker had. You know? One call is there's a callback to the original where, the original, I'd buy that for $1. This one is, I wouldn't buy that for $1. Yeah, no, it's not the same. It's not the same. And even we get the line, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me," but it's not the same because it's at the end when he's trying to arrest Sellers, and it's just like, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." It's not the same as "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." It doesn't have that same impact. And while Joel Kinnaman does a good job, I just don't think he has the impact that Peter Weller did in the original. Or even the guy from the third one, sorry to say, that guy was okay. And he's okay, but he's just, part of it is because they decided to go with this black design. There's nothing wrong with it being black, but it's not the same. He doesn't look like Robocop, and it's probably because, like, okay, we set that this, because in the original, you weren't sure what the time frame was. It looked futuristic, but they didn't tell you it was the future. So it's like, heat, silver, whatever. Here, like, okay, we're telling them it's the future, 2028, which was exactly 14 years from when this movie came out, and is exactly 5 years from now. So expect Robocop to show up in 5 years, folks. And so, like, he's got to look futuristic. Probably what they said. He got to look futuristic, so they gave him this futuristic black-looking suit, which is fine, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Even the ED 209s, ED 209s, it's ED 209s, and there's another one, so like humanoid-looking robot things. They're fine, but the ED 209s are probably a little more competent in this than they are in the original. But overall, I did enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a middle of the road. I think it's as good as the original. That one's a to the moon all the freaking fucking day. But not bad. It's not bad. I think it could be on par with 3. So it's gonna be, I don't know, be lower or above. I don't know. I don't think. My opinion, I think this franchise is kind of strong. I think it has 2 good first movies. The third movie I think is decent, as well as the remake is decent. So I think it's fine for a franchise. I don't think they say the third one is really, really bad. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun movie with the samurai, and I think it's a fun movie. It's not as good as the first 2 or even the first one by any imagination. I think about it, maybe this is better than the third one, but I still like the third one. I think it's just, like I said in the review, I like cheesy movies. So, I get a kick out of cheesy movies, and that, is a kick for me. So, yeah, what is your thought on the Robocop from 2014? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm not exactly sure which franchise is next. It's not Neverending Story, though. It could range from Karate Kid to Jason Bourne to even the Librarian movies. But don't quote me on it. I'm still trying to figure out. I also want to do the Children of the Corn movies, but I have to wait till after June, because Children of the Corn 2 is the last of Stephen King's Saturday Night, the last review that I do at the end of June. So if I'm going to continue this route, it'll have to be in July, which I can wait till July. If the other movies that I need to watch are still on Tubi by then, otherwise you're just going to get the first 7, which I've already done the first one for Stephen King's Saturday Night in October. I'm doing the second one. You will see Stephen King's Saturday Night in June, and then the others I'll just do, because I said in my review that I'm probably taking liberties going any farther than 2 with adding these to Stephen King's Saturday Night, but I really want to see where these go. So we shall see. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.